safest place for the king. But this is very time-consuming, this last move. I don't really see what black's next move is, how to continue the attack. So, okay, any ideas what white could be playing? The desirable move is knight to c4, but this knight is currently defending its fellow knight on f3 from
c4, though. Is that a move?
Ooh, c4.
C4 is possible. And then c5 and then de.
Then you're looking at a pawn sacrifice in the middle of the board, right? It weakens the d4 pawn and takes away the pressure from getting c5 in.
Yeah, and I was thinking e5 there, but it is giving up a pawn there. c4, de, and then e5. de, knight e5. My queen is not activated anymore on that diagonal. It's hard to break through. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to break through.
But also for Magnus, right, with the bishop that's just gone on h5, you don't have knight jumps on that square. You're not expanding that h-pawn. Whenever you push g4, white's piece will jump over to h4 and start eyeing the f5 square. So for now, Magnus's kingside attack has also been halted.
Yeah, but Magnus is just playing that kind of trademark brand of chess that he has been exhibiting for so long. Okay, knight c4. I was going to say, just bring all the pieces to the party. Just improve all your pieces and let the tactics fall into place later.
He allows bishop takes knight, and now the pawn formation on the king's side has been ruined. White has a beautiful bishop on f1, defending everything, but I can imagine a future h5, h4, forcing that bishop to capture on f4 and opening up the g line.
Yeah, that would be the attacking way to do it. Magnus first pins the white knight, preventing a capture of the black bishop. So the white knight is pinned. Also, if we remember Capablanca, this bishop on g3, he once made it look really silly in this pawn structure. If the black knight ever moves away, the bishop on g3 is actually trapped for eternity. It can never really re-enter the battle. So, yeah, this is a really tense position. Black, we see, has the advantage on the eval bar, but, of course, anything could happen if the center ever explodes.
Push that h-pawn. It feels like the most natural move in this position. He reaches out, he does it. It's not stopping that. h4 is coming in, forcing that opening up of the g line. And imagine once that happens and you're able to double up with your queen, you're looking at all kinds of checkmating possibilities.
Oh, it does look terrifying. Jan has to shuffle his king into the corner now or on the next couple of moves. The g-file is about to blow open. And it doesn't really help. Taking this black bishop off the board, the black king is actually super safe, hiding out on the a7 square, no matter what. That pawn structure for black is super safe. No open lines towards the black king, whereas for the white king, very much there will be open lines. That is a guarantee at this point. Knight to e3, given a question mark. Very understandable move. He wants to plant a knight on f5, at least stop the black queen from coming in. But maybe it's just too slow. Maybe continue with your plan, Tanya.
Yeah, I'd love to see that on the board because, yes, you get your knight to f5, but that's not a great defender there because all the squares close to the king, the g3 square, will be covered by Magnus's pawns. And I'm not understanding how do you keep everything together on the king side after the very natural h4. Magnus has other very appealing possibilities here as well. He can think about preparing it, get that rook to g8 before jumping in with h4. It's just very pleasant. And let's not forget, Jan loves these kind of positions to be black in. He wants to be on the attack. He wants to be on the initiative.
Colourful position on the board too. But yeah, in honor of Rubik's, maybe that colourful, but not in Jan's favour. Magnus about to go for it. He opens up the centre. This is not desirable strategically for black because white has the bishops, after all, a frown from Jan Nepomucci, but there must be a concrete reason, a specific reason for Magnus choosing this. What is it? Is it due to the fact that maybe pawns will be weak? The black queen now open. A bit of a mysterious one by Magnus.
Yeah, it's very interesting because it felt like the flow on the king side, James, was so easy. Just go on, open the G line, target the king. What ideas? You're the tactic Jedi here. What are the ideas that Magnus has in mind?
h4? I mean, h4 is nice, though. h4, I also want to play something like knight h3, maybe a knight takes e4. Something like that is possible, but...
Jan has to capture on
Correct, he has
d4.
to capture first.
Why is he thinking right now?
He has to capture, and then g4, h4.
I think he's just so shocked at that move. It's counterintuitive to break the center open when black had such control. But yeah, maybe it's a bit of panic. Maybe it is calculating those variations there, knight jumping in with a check, or some way of trying to trap that white dark squared bishop. Actually, yeah, the knight to h3 check. The bishop is pretty much trapped on g3. I don't really see a way to save it. So Jan panicking. But like you say, Tanya, sometimes there are just no options. Rather than spending what is it, 1 minute 20 now on this move. You just got to play, deal with the consequences, and yeah, try to find something a bit later. Instead, he jumps with his knight. But now Magnus is up material and with the attack.
Exactly. I mean, you're the one who wants at least an extra pawn or two to allow black to get this kind of a position, but it's Magnus with the black pieces on the initiative, up on the material, and still ideas of h4 in the air. No attack on the black king. That bishop on b6, a brilliant attacker, but also a really cool defender. Defending a5 and c7 points. Magnus reroutes the knight to the squares that have been opened up. Also, sneakily, that queen will transfer to g6 once the g line opens up, threatening checkmates. Knight d7, a very clever move. All threats in the air.
Yeah, feels like Magnus is trying to win this in the style that he said Ding was using in the World Championship. Just minimal calculation, just put pieces on good squares. If the knight ever lands on e5, that is a square that can never be challenged. That's a permanent outpost. I just want to mention as well for everyone at home, knight to g7 looks like a fork. Firstly, black's just going to give up material most likely, but if you want to save your queen and your rook at the same time, you can simply move your queen forward, attacking the white queen, and if there's a trade, you recapture with the black rook, the white knight will be left looking silly on the g7 square. So not a huge threat, not a very scary idea here. And yeah, Magnus playing in his 5th consecutive CCT finals. It looks like this is just his tournament. This is just his stomping ground.
He's such a big stage player, right? Finds always the ability to bring out his best, you know, under pressure, when fighting for these big moments, playing in front of the home crowd. He's been critical about his form so far, but today I think it's going to be hard even for Magnus to find fault in his play. He first tries to trade the queens off the board. You take it on Magnus's terms. The knight jumps to the center of the board. Watch out for that f3 weakness. No time to capture anything. Queen takes queen, knight takes queen. Looks extremely powerful to me. Jan ending up in this position on move 26 with the white pieces. Oof. This is turning out to be very one-sided.
Yeah, then again, if Jan saves this, he'll feel like he's invincible, or he'll feel like he's back and has been given a second chance. So these next few moves are critical. It does feel like Jan's stabilized somewhat. He's stopped his dart square bishop getting trapped. The white knight does look more and more pretty by the moment. It looks like it's on a really nice safe square. And Magnus might start getting frustrated. He knows he has a massive advantage. He knows he's winning. But the longer the game goes on without a breakthrough, the more this could turn. He moves his queen. He's clearing the path for that black knight on d7 to jump into the center.
Yeah. And also watch out, that queen can further penetrate into white's position from that a3 square, eyeing all the pawns on the board, on the left side, on the right side. Combine that with the knight on e5, knight on f4. I don't care if the computer says there was something more accurate for Magnus to convert his advantage, but everything he's done, it just looks incredibly dangerous for white.
Where do you go, rook c1?
There
Rook
we go.
c1 hits the queen.
Oh, that was a nice intermezzo, a nice intermediate move there. Zwischenzug. Black's knight came in.
Shake? What is this a head shake or?
Ooh.
F3.
N3 on the board.
So many threats now. Black's knight is threatening to capture a pawn with a check. Black's queen is just trying to gobble up the whole queen side. Oh, Jan defends everything for now, but there are some knight forks in the air. The two white rooks are on the same circuit for the black knights.
Yeah, knight d3 just picks up big material on the board, right? He doesn't even want it. He just wants his rooks into the game, eyeing that white queen, rook on the 8. And Jan, he's feeling the pressure. You know, he's twirling the pieces, but the pieces on the board are about to fall apart.
This is just a terrible position. All my pieces are clamped down as white here. Can't do anything. I mean, I don't have any targets. What do you even play? Bishop takes f4, maybe to start, get rid of something. Pawn
Barely
takes.
move.
Takes, queen c2, knight f3. There's rook e8 in there.
Everything looks like it's winning right now. The black queen, the black knights, they're so active. Loose pieces do drop off, so as you pointed out there, James, the only black piece that's misplaced is that rook that Magnus moves. He's not calculating anything. He's just improving his pieces constantly and waiting for the tactics to fall in his favor.
Rook d2 is coming too.
And he didn't even have to go around to pick up Jan's exchange. Jan was forced to give up his rook for that knight because the f3 pawn was hanging. And now that's a lot of material. An extra pawn, an extra exchange, and beautiful pieces against the white king. Look at the way Jan's bishops are shut off. That bishop on g3, bishop on g2. No play. Denied game.
Oof, I think we're going to see a handshake in the next few moves, next few minutes. Magnus now has a very pleasant choice to make. The white knight is trying to jump over towards the c4 square with a family fork, hitting the black queen, but There we go. It is removed. Magnus gives back some of the material. But, of course, he's going to emerge with a 2-pawn advantage and an ongoing attack. The black rook trying to land on the second rank. Oh, this looks over. How to fight on?
Yeah, you don't. In fact, this is nothing. The bishops are terrible. Even if my bishop was good, I don't have any targets. C7 is locked down pretty nicely. Rook E1, that's very good. You can do knight takes G2, whatever you want. Do anything.
And White's rook needs to stay on the first rank. There are checkmating ideas on G1 that White has to watch out for. Just everything in the position has gone wrong for Jan. He's down on the material.
Great.
He's about to be down that king on H2. You know, black just lined up beautifully. Every single piece placed to perfection. There are ideas of taking on H4, take on G2, pick up material on H4.
On G5, maybe throw an H4. You can do anything. This is crazy because I have no moves. Yeah, he threw an H4 there, which is brilliant. But
you take that pawn, knight takes bishop, and the bishop falls.
Takes check, king H1 and H3 and resignation.
I think this is over. This is over for Jan.
We're going to see 1 or 2 last moves. Magnus's queen moves in. A pawn deflects the light squared bishop away. There will be a capture now.
Rook E2 is nice.
Oh, there we go. It's a double attack, and Magnus takes a second win. He goes 2 points to 0 up in the Champions Chess Tour finals.
Yeah, Jan didn't have a chance there, Kanye.